Hi everybody, Mike with Enviroscape LA, and we're dealing with a horrific drought. If you live in an HOA, as we know them, homeowners associations, they're condominium projects, big condominium projects. They have a lot of land, a lot of space outside of them, and you're in Southern California, you need to listen to this. Because your HOA, believe it or not, your dues are going up. And the reason why? Because of drought. Because of this horrific drought that we're undergoing, the water prices are spiking like crazy. And if you want to lower your HOA bill or keep it the same, then you want to listen to this. How do you save water? About 50% of water that comes into the average California residence or HOA, half of that water goes out to landscaping. That can be changed. We can actually cut that in half. And the way you do that is right here, drip irrigation. We're at a big HOA in Hermosa Beach, California. And you can see we've got the valves. We're actually doing a conversion of this landscape. They actually have pop-up sprinklers, big sprinklers that go up 1 foot. They spray, but one of the problems is that the spray actually hits the windows, and you know, windows are not cheap to replace. They're actually very, very expensive. Let me show you one of the sprinklers. This is the old style. We haven't taken it out yet, but look at how tall that pops up. So it pops up, it spits out its water, and the water goes in the building. The water also, look at the damage that's been done. Check out this, damage to the, it's supposed to be concrete cap. And even down here, look at the flaking off of the tile. Water damages everything. It's the universal solvent. So to eliminate that and to save water, we introduce drip irrigation. Now this drip irrigation, we're actually taking out these old valves, and we're replacing them with a new valve. Now this is your typical sprinkler valve. I'm not going to bore you with it, but this is the one we're going to replace it with. It's called the LFV, low flow valve, specially made by Rainbird. And what else goes on this is there's a pressure reducer because you're not pushing as much water through. And there's also a filter right here. Great technology, the best in the world. And then follow me as we come down. We're actually going to be working our way around this big HOA. We've got the flag here because here's a sprinkler, and we're gonna pull all these guys out. But check this out. The world's best sprinklers. Notice the mold that's on that window right there. It's due to water. Now look at the discoloration. So it seems that water is a real problem. Overwatering is a real problem too. Tomorrow we're going to take out the sprinklers in the grass area. We're going to do this. We're going to actually do drip irrigation down here, because as soon as this is on for more than 30 seconds, it just floods into the street. So it's going to eliminate the oversprays. Also, we've got plants right here. It'll be able to avoid the overwatering the plants too. And we're going to put the drip irrigation down, and then we're going to cover it with mulch. You can see in here, the Homeowner Association, we're going to get all this is going to be covered with drip irrigation and then covered with mulch. And we haven't worked it out yet. We've got the valve in over here. So we've got the special valve, and we actually have, if you don't have electricity to an area, a particular area, we actually have a battery operated timer. This is the sprinkler timer, all encased into a one little unit. It's about the size of a round sandwich. And here we have the boys putting in the drip irrigation. This area just got done. This is what it looks like after it's finished with the drip irrigation part. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come in, we're going to sink all these lines down, or we're just going to cover it with shredded bark, shredded mulch. And the shredded mulch, there's a reason for it. It looks attractive, helps keep weeds out, helps to keep moisture in, and it just looks attractive. So and it provides food for the bugs that are inside the ground that'll feed your plants. So check this out. This is what it looks like. This is what a proper drip irrigation job looks like. This is the end of the line. We're going to sink this down into the ground. We're going to cap it, and then we're going to put a clean out to it. So in a year, you'll be able to undo it, open the valve, flush it out, and voila. it's like a brand new system again. This, you can check out the valve. Well, there's a little valve over there. It's in the corner, but and it has its own timer. It's got the valve built in, so it's a great system. But I just wanted to share this with you. We're getting such a high volume of calls from homeowners, from HOAs, from commercial, and it's hard to keep up with the volume. So whether you hire us or whether you hire somebody else, I just want you to take note. There's several things that you want to take note of here. Number one, use the Rainbird low flow valve. It's a special valve, and I'll tell you why. Because if you use anything other than that, the pressure that goes through these things is the volume rather is so low that the valve will always turn off, but it may not shut off if you don't use that particular valve. So beware. You don't want to wake up the next morning, and realize your drip has been on 24 hours. That's a total waste of water. So use the right valve. Use the right pressure compensator. Use there's something called an air relief valve. So it lets the excess pressure out, air, right as the system turns on. That's a real important thing. And then put the flush out too. And then most important of all is use the Rainbird copper shield technology. And the reason I said copper shield technology, this drip inside the tubing actually has a little tiny strip every 12 inches. That's important because it keeps root intrusion from getting into your lines. The copper creates a negative ion that creates an acid that burns any root tips that try to go into it naturally. So the alternative is to blow herbicide through there, but it's just not something you want to do. I don't want to kill our environment for future generations. I want to make everything look pretty and leave a better world for the next generation. So that's why we don't want to use the herbicides. Anyway, for more information, visit us on our website in www.enviroscape.la.com. Give us a call. Be happy to discuss it with you. Mike from Enviroscape LA signing off. When you think sustainability, think Enviroscape LA.